Hello, private practice owners. This is Lisa Wozniak with Woz Marketing. And I've got the rare privilege today to talk to Takudo Osawa of Osawa Consulting. And Takudo has his business specializing in SEO of all things. I know that that's been a sore spot for so many private practice owners. Because there's just such a stigma around it that it's really difficult and too difficult to manage, not very user friendly. And Takudo has been gracious enough to join us today and help us break down some of those barriers and help us understand what it is, why we need it, and some of the things that you can put into action in your private practice today that will make a difference. So welcome, Takudo. Thank you for joining us today. I would love it if you could give us just a little bit of a background about you and who you are and how you got started in your particular niche.
Sure. So what I do, like you said, is SEO, but I guess why I picked the niche for chiropractors, I primarily help chiropractors with their SEO processes, is that I was born and raised in a household that was very anti-medicine. It was more about alternative treatments. And so I grew up in such an alternative treatment, like homeopathic remedies and acupuncture and other, I guess, Asian or originated treatments. And a lot of people think that SEO is super, super hard, which in its core, it's really just simple. It's just if you follow the steps right, anyone can do it. So,
you know, isn't it interesting how each of us ends up specializing in our different niches as a result of something personal that's happened to us earlier in life.
Right.
Which I think is great because it really just fuels your passion, don't you think? And when your passion is ignited, you're really giving your best self to your clients. So good for you. And I love what you said about, you know, how it isn't as difficult as people think it is, as long as you follow the steps. So listen, I'm hoping you can just break down some of the nitty-gritty details for our viewers, just as a basic level of understanding. Can you talk a little bit about what the difference is between short and long tail keywords?
Okay. So short tail keyword would be chiropractors, Atlanta, that's where I live. So Atlanta chiropractors or chiropractors Atlanta would be a short tail keyword, which is just your niche and your city, I guess. And so whatever they type that in Google, you see this, I guess if you're used to it, you see all this map that pops up on Google recently. And so it suggests 3 locations near you that there's a chiropractic office. I guess depends on the city how many there are, but yeah. And so if you rank for those get a lot of volume because people are searching. Because when you're looking for somewhere like a chiropractor to go to, usually people type in like best chiropractors near me or best chiropractors Atlanta or chiropractors Atlanta, something like that. And then as opposed to that, long tail keywords are more like, let's say, best chiropractors for after, or best chiropractor to go to after a car accident or something like that.
So then, for example, a long tail keyword might be, using chiropractors as the example, women chiropractors in Atlanta, or women chiropractors specializing in auto accidents.
Right.
So it allows, so from the standpoint of the consumer, it allows them to find specifically what they want.
Exactly.
And from the standpoint of the chiropractor, in this example, it allows them to hone in on their specialty and get the exact type of clients that they want.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I guess
what are some things that that private practice owners can do from their end so that they can focus a little bit on the SEO and rank a little bit higher in Google?
So one of the immediate things I would say is get a secure site. Uh, I think I told you about a week or two ago when we were talking. But starting this year and more even from now, Google Chrome is going to show any website that doesn't have a HTTPS behind your URL as not secure in web browsers. So when people associate your brand as not secure, the first signal is already a red flag, which you don't want that just because you don't have a secure encryption. And so whenever you write a blog topic, you want to send an email to all of your current patients saying, hey, I wrote about this, come check it out. Because what that does is there's actual people going into your blog post. The worst thing that can happen is you can write a really fantastic blog post about chiropractic care or anything, and there's no one to read it. What I would suggest is just go on your Facebook profile and just say, hey, I wrote a blog topic about this, check it out, or email your clientele because they're more likely to be able to be, or more likely interested in whatever you have to say. And so Google sees that people are coming to it, and that gives you more traffic. So that, I guess those are really two simple things that you can do immediately.
So when you're writing the blog post, is it important to utilize some keywords?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, for sure. The first step to any successful SEO is doing your keyword research. And there's so many, I guess, ways of looking for keywords. Like we were saying about long tail keywords. If you are a chiropractor specifically looking for people after auto accidents, you can just start writing blog content around keywords about accidents. So it could be what to do after an accident. And you write a blog post like 5 things to do after an auto accident. You definitely want to look for keywords that you personally think that people would type in. And also there's Google Keyword Planner and other tools that you can use so that you can look for keywords. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on that keyword research. So, and I can probably write an article about that too. So there's a lot
I'm
of resources to check out.
Now, I had heard it somewhere that if you, and I'm going to go ahead and use therapists as an example,
Okay.
but I guess it could apply to a lot of different industries. But if you are a doctor that specializes in something specific, and again,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to the therapist as an example. So if you're a therapist that specializes in, I don't know, bipolar disorder, I'd heard it said somewhere that when it comes to SEO, the pages to focus your SEO and your keywords on are going to be your about page and your services page because that's what calls out your specialty. Is that true?
Yes and no. We tend to do that because that's the page that has all the information that your customers would most likely want, and thus they would stay on the page longer and go into an opt-in. But we've ranked many homepages because we restructured the homepage so that when you scroll down, there's testimonials, there's things about your practice. So it's sort of like a pseudo service page. We write like a snippet of what you do, and then it says read more, click here to read more, and that connects to your service page. But our main focus is the main focus of SEO is just so that you have traffic coming into your site, which hopefully leads into your offline, office. So what we do is rank the homepage with, small snippets of service, about us, testimonials. So if people, keep scrolling, they can read if they so choose. But the very first thing that pops up is a call to action that says, fill out this form for your voucher. For your first visit could be $21, $29, or the price can change, and your offer can obviously change. Maybe it's just a free consultation, but the first page is just an opt-in page so that people come in, they see it, they just type it in because they're already searching on Google. for something specific, let's say a chiropractor, they're already willing to get there and they have the intent to visit somewhere. And so the worst thing you want to do is take them to an about page, just read more about you, and they don't have any call to action. And they're like, oh, I mean, this person's cool, but now what do I do? And they just go back and go to your competitor. When if they have an opt-in page, they're like, oh, I just read about what that other person does, and this guy probably does the similar thing. So
No, that's a good point. You've supplied them enough information to go to your competitor with.
right.
Oh.
So that's the last thing you want to do. So for major keywords, we really push so that there's a call to action button somewhere on that page that ranks. And if it's your service page that's ranking right now, let's say on the third page, we'll boost that up to however long it takes to the first page, depending on how competitive it is. We can just add a call to action button at the very end of the article and say, hey, if you thought this article was good, give us a call and we can see what we can do for you, or something like that. And you can add on things like that too. So again, it's like whichever page that ranks
As long as you're ranking, right?
Yeah. And
at the end of the day.
Right.
So listen, you've given us some really helpful information on things that practitioners can do on a rudimentary level with their own SEO with regards to their website and blog writing, that kind of thing. So what I'd love if you could break down for us is what you do for practitioners, and at what point should they stop doing what they're doing on their own and reach out and have somebody take it over for them. If you could kind of, because that's muddy water for a lot of folks. So I think that if you could help clear that up, that would be awesome.
Right. So my number one thing I like to tell everyone, not just chiropractors or just business owners, is you want to be working on your business and not in it. And so any effort that you can, I don't want to say effort because everyone puts in effort for their work, but anything you can do so that you're not exchanging your own time for money. Let's say SEO endeavors, it takes a long time to do the keyword research and write a blog, and coming up with a blog topic that you think your readers might be interested in. And maybe you're just a natural writer, and so if so, by all means, just go ahead and do it. But a lot of people, a lot of doctors, they want to rather spend that time writing an article on the weekend, spending time with family or doing other things. And so it's really just preference. A lot of the things I do for my clients, I think they can do on their own. It's just a matter of if they want to spend that time to do it. And some other technical aspects, it's just, if you're not doing it as a profession, it can sometimes get over your head. So it's like me going to a chiropractic school and learning everything and starting my own practice, or I just go to a chiropractor and be like, hey, can you work for me? And then I'll start the business up. Right. So you want to go to that profession. And another thing is, I've had one occasion where a chiropractor left our services for our competitor, and it was a much cheaper SEO alternative, and their rank dropped by about 90% within the first 3 months, which is just, I was like, wow, that's really unfortunate for me, because we've helped them, bring their brand awareness up, and then they just went for a cheaper option, which I don't blame them. But cheap SEO, you get what you paid for.
And then I also think that when it comes to like a Google AdWords campaign, it's a really good idea to have a professional step in and help you with that. Because, they have tutorials online and they have YouTube videos like you were talking about. But all of that pales in comparison to knowing the inside track.
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what is going to hit with Google
Right.
and the strategies that you use for that. Because unfortunately, I have seen a number of people spend oodles of dollars on Google ad campaigns that get them nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this admitting wholeheartedly, I don't do Google campaigns for that very reason. I mean, leave
Right.
it to somebody who knows SEO and knows what's going to rank and knows how to put it out there. So if you're thinking about doing a Google ad campaign, I would really recommend having a professional help you with it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
would you agree
Yeah,
with
for
that?
sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you find the same thing happening?
yeah, because a lot of the times the people I talk to at least say, yeah, I've tried Facebook, I've tried Google, it doesn't work. But again, when I look at the campaigns that they do, I just be like, hey, let me see what you actually did with the campaigns. And they're just targeting, they're auto targeting keywords. And so you really want to know what you're doing when you're spending money. Um, but I definitely think, watching YouTube videos and educating yourself is a very good first step, um, that I would suggest, so that when you approach agencies, you can ask the right kind of questions. Um,
So smart. I love that. That's such a good point. So that you don't get taken over the coals.
mhm,
Absolutely. Yeah. Plus it's, I mean, knowledge is power anyway, right? So it's a good
mhm,
idea to understand how the process works and what things are impacted by it.
mhm,
And then, like you said earlier, you brought up a really good point when you said, then you know what the right questions to ask are.
yeah.
You know, I mean, because I still think at the end of the day, particularly when it comes to messing around with big picture SEO like you do,
Mhm,
and Google ad campaigns, I think there's no substitute for professional help there. Unless you really, really, really know what you're doing, there's
right.
no substitute for professional help. And like you had said, if you're going to spend money, make sure you're spending it wisely and make sure that you're going to get the impact that you want out of it. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. Watching some YouTube videos and doing a little bit of research online that equips you with asking the right questions makes all the difference in the world. Then you're a smart consumer,
Right.
and you're going to get what you paid for. So that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So,
Mhm,
so for people who are interested in taking that next step, they've done what they needed to do on their end, and they're ready to boost that SEO up to the next level, and really play in a competitive marketplace. What's the best way for them to reach you?
right now we are restructuring our website. So as of now, I would suggest just reaching out to me through LinkedIn or even Facebook. If you can just type Takuto Osawa, you'll see me. There's not that many people with that name all over the world. So yeah, for sure. And we can chat and hop on a call if they wanted to. I'm definitely willing to chat within anyone who's watching this or listening to this. I definitely want to help. Even if you're not chiropractors, I have general SEO sense in the medical and private practitioner niche. Um, so yeah.
Fantastic. So, do you have a Facebook presence as well, or?
I will be making a page, but if you can connect to me directly, just add me as a friend, Takuto Osawa.
Okay.
I do some, daily posts on Facebook as well, for SEO. So even if you're not interested in, directly speaking with me, you can just, stalk my profile and look at some SEO tips on a daily basis.
Fantastic. Listen, Takuto, I really appreciate you coming on with us today and breaking down the myth around SEO and what works and what doesn't, and just some really rudimentary things that all of us can work on to get our rankings in Google and what it takes to take it to the next level. So thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate
No
your time.
problem. Thank you for doing this. It's a great opportunity.
So again, folks, this is Lisa Wozniak with Woz Marketing talking to Takuto Osawa from Osawa Consulting. And hope you folks have a great day, and we're helping you navigate your yellow brick road. Bye for now.